Ilia Topuria has just become the UFC Featherweight Champion of the world at 27 years of age, the same age that the notorious Conor McGregor also won his first featherweight title against Jose Aldo in just 13 seconds, making Ilia Topuria currently the youngest UFC champion in the whole company. But those aren't the only parallels between the two fighters, Ilia Topuria and Conor McGregor. Here's the scary truth that many people just aren't noticing about Ilia Topuria. Ilia Topuria is a fantastic fighter, as he's shown on the weekend, and he's had a brutal rise to the top of the featherweight division, absolutely hammering Josh Emmett, battering Bryce Mitchell, and KOing Jai Herbert after he was already in trouble earlier in the fight. His rise has been phenomenal, and he showcased all types of skills, his grappling skills against Bryce Mitchell and his submission skills, and his striking and power against basically every single other person he's faced. It's just been brutal, and his boxing is just on another level in comparison to a lot of the MMA fighters at the moment. And with his black belt in jiu-jitsu, people don't want to take him down and they're forced to stand, and his boxing is just on a completely different level to what MMA fighters normally see, and it shows in the fights. They can't get near him and he can touch them basically whenever he wants. But why do people compare him to Conor McGregor, and what parallels do they really have between the two? Conor McGregor's rise was also brutal and spectacular to watch, but he doesn't have the grappling skills of what Topuria has. He was just able to keep his fights on the feet and batter his opponents with ease. But it's fair to say that Conor McGregor was the biggest star in the UFC and the biggest star the UFC had ever seen by the time he'd beat Jose Aldo in 13 seconds. And that win just sent him to a whole new level. And at the current moment, this isn't where Ilia Topuria is in his career. At the same time they're both winning their titles, their styles are just not even comparable. But can Ilia be that in the future? With the backing of Real Madrid and his countrymen, I think there's all the chances in the world that he could be propelled to a stardom comparable to McGregor's in the future. But I also think that there will never be anyone who will captivate fans and gain fame and fortune the way that Conor McGregor has. I don't know that it will ever be replicated in the same way, and it will definitely never feel the same, just Conor being the first superstar coming from the UFC and MMA. Now, what do Ilia and Conor really have in common besides their age of winning the title? Well, I'd say that Conor has a lot more charisma and natural star power than Ilia, but that's not to say that Ilia's a boring guy. He's not. He's very, very intense, and he's very, very aggressive. They're just different personalities, but I think they're both as effective and both as likely to go viral in certain instances. You see with Ilia getting in rivalries with fighters all the time. Look at a few fights ago, he was getting in rivalries with Paddy Pimblett. Now Paddy Pimblett would go nowhere near the geezer, as he would get his head absolutely walleyed in. I don't think there's anyone in the world, or at least in the world of combat sports, that has the charisma and just the way of living as Conor McGregor, the way they are. No one has it. No one just has that it factor that Conor has. No one. And I don't know that anyone will ever have it like him again. But Ilia can certainly live up to that. I think he can provide moments that other fighters can't, just with his pure intensity and confidence within himself that other fighters, they may project that they have, but you can see with Ilia that he totally has it. He's completely confident in his ability, and he should be, after just knocking out one of the greatest featherweights that's ever been seen in the UFC. He should be confident, and him being confident in himself is something that fans either like or really don't like, which is really good when you want to build your stardom and your power when it comes to combat sports and sports in general. You've got to be a polarising character, which Ilia is. But the thing that people ain't talking about, the scary truth is that Ilia Topuria is a lot more well-rounded and a lot more skilled at the moment than Conor McGregor was at this time. People were just looking to take Conor down. You look at Nate Diaz, he was able to submit him in this time period. No one's going and trying to take Ilia down because of his grappling ability. No one's trying to do it. So this is what I think will take him to the level near McGregor, at least, is his skill and his power. His power, he's going to get some highlight reel knockouts like Conor did, but I think even more often, as I think he's going to be even more confident in his striking ability, as he's not worried about being taken down because he's such a good grappler, and people are reluctant to take him down. I think the thing that can propel him to the next level of stardom is his performances in the Octagon. I know he's going to get quite a few viral moments outside the Octagon when it comes to press conferences, press days, interviews and stuff, but I think the main thing that's going to grow his stardom is his performances in the Octagon, and he needs to keep that UFC belt round his waist, and he needs to defend it as often as he can. I don't think he should be slowing down at all. What you see with a lot of champions is, at the minute, they're slowing down after they win the belts, and they're trying to take more time off, or they're trying to pick fights, easier fights, or they're trying to make more money. And with Ilia, I think the best thing for him to do is just keep putting on scary performances and knocking people out that people never thought could be knocked out. You're looking at people like Max Holloway. If he fights Yair Rodriguez, he's going to have to knock these guys out and put on a statement, put out a performance that make people say, we have never seen anything like this guy before. And with his total confidence, and I'm sure he'll predict that he'll do these exact things in the fights, he'll knock these guys out, it would lead to him getting the similar way that Conor used to grow his stardom, which is using his confidence before the fight to build up to the fight, to see people either really want him to win or really want him to lose. And for Ilia, he obviously really needs to win and do it in the way that he'd say, in a great fashion, and knock people clean out. So the truth is that Ilia may not match Conor for charisma. He may not have the same type of personality, and he may not be that same personal superstar that Conor was and still is. But he can be one of the greatest UFC fighters of all time if he just keeps fighting, keeps putting on these performances, and then no doubt he'll reach the stardom that he wants to reach, especially with the backing of Real Madrid, Spain and Georgia. I think he's got all the tools to become the biggest star in the UFC in the future, and people aren't really looking to admit that at the moment. Thanks for watching. If you've got anything else that you'd like to see from me, please just let me know in the comments below. Please like, share and subscribe, and thank you for watching.